Handball, and the remoteness of Trabzon only adds to the supporters' sense of pride in their team. The referee is Ivan Bebek of Croatia, and although there are barely 20,000 inside this stadium, it sounds, looks and feels like many more. Anchor the midfield. So away we go with Liverpool leading through Ryan Babel's goal scored at Anfield. Kuyt losing out. Colman and a chance and a goal. Liverpool looked to the referee's assistant for an offside flag that wouldn't come. And Trabzonspor inside 3.5 minutes are level in the tie.
Well, it's Dirk Kuyt of all people that gets caught dwelling on the ball, just wanted to take a touch. Colman come in late. Wasn't the greatest of strikes, it certainly was a strike. At goal. Colman with a strike. Teofilo just comes in a little bit late. It's about half a yard onside. Liverpool just caught sleeping. Been the player grabbing all the headlines this morning to make the first real mistake.
Well claimed by the goalkeeper, Onur. And now the danger for Liverpool lies with this counter from Trabzon. It's Yatara. And a shooting chance. And Carragher hurled himself in the path of the ball.
Yeah, well done, Jamie Carragher. Really sniffed out the danger there. Liverpool stretched from their own corner kick. 80 yards down the field, 90 yards down the field. They're pushed into their own penalty box by Yatara, who gets outpaced here actually. Glen Johnson.
And a clear heading opportunity. Yatara rose, and something they rectified at Anfield. That's Aurelio having a shot. Liverpool going through on that occasion back in the 70s, but they've got it all on here.
Well, I think they would have it all on, in all fairness, with a full team, because you know of the difficulties you come into a place like this with the record they've got at home. So to come with
Ngog. Johnson's made a run. Johnson's offside though.
Well, it must have been tight. Just delayed it a little bit, Ngog there. First touch was fantastic, just to outwit the defender. He is offside. As I said, he delayed just a split second. Ngog, that was the best.
What would Liverpool give for a goal now? Change the complexion of the tie. That was a trip by a Liverpool player, I think, Ngog. And so Trabzonspor have a free kick.
I think it was Kacar almost got on the end of it as Aurelio fizzed it in, the outswinger. That was a free kick, unfortunately, from Liverpool's point of view there, but I think maybe...
Turning in an effort from Colman from close range. Zinho, who is renowned as Trabzonspor's most creative player. Here's Kuyt. And Cole found himself in a promising position, but unable to control and turn on the ball.
Well, I think he was in two minds here, Joe Cole. Thought he might be going to be able to just nod this back in to the path of Ngog. Goal scorer, so they want to get this game in the bag ASAP.
And maybe now, but the flag is up for offside.
Oh, it's risky. I think it's Kelly. Martin Kelly, the hand goes up. It is Borat. Off the right hand side, he's onside. Look level with Carragher. Very, very dicey.
Joko. And the header is past the post from Ngog.
Well, it may well put his head in his hands. What a lovely little ball stood up from Joe Cole, and that has got to be a goal. Absolutely bread and butter, 6 yards out, almost centre of the goal, just slightly to the back post, coming onto it. Perfect angle. Keeper was expecting to pick that out at the back of Van Wolfenthal.
That's neat by Ngog. And Ngog! A foot wide.
Well, do you know something about this fella? He does some great things at times. Then at other times it looks so simple and he makes a mess of it. I mean, that's a great turn. He had one touch I can remember in the first half that completely took the defender out of the equation. I just think a bit like Ryan Babel, you never quite know what you're going to get from this fella, but at least Liverpool have started to create more of a threat.
Kuyt. Ngog. Content to let it drift out. Lunging into the challenge with Chehun.
Just lost his footing initially when the ball came in. He's certainly looking a lot more dangerous in this second half. I think he's managed just to find the little gaps between the centre backs at the moment.
Released by the club, then restored. It's Fabio Aurelio. And it took a looping deflection. Just took the immediate danger from the set. And Alazinho's continued his run. And Reina gratefully gathers. So Liverpool's European hopes against difficult opponents in less than ideal circumstances. Here though is Glen Johnson. And Johnson's done well for Liverpool. And there's the goal they needed. David Ngog was at the near post. Roy Hodgson celebrates. Danny Pacheco got himself into an ideal position as well. But it was all down to the incursion made by Glen Johnson. And now Trabzonspor need to score 2 more. It's a big, big goal for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's all down to that man, Glen Johnson. We saw it on 1 or 2 occasions in the first half. Getting forward. It's an own goal. Great play from the full-back though. Defenders under pressure. Into a dangerous area. His calves. Trabzonspor right open. 7 or 8 minutes now to hang on. What a time to score.
And there's a chance. And a good chance too for Alazinho. And here's Babel, who scored a very good goal in the first leg and then was promptly substituted. Cole is central. And the low shot is parried and Kuyt wraps it up. And now, beyond any question or doubt, Liverpool are heading for the group stages of the Europa League.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the players that are left at home, Roy Hodgson decided it was well worth the risk not to bring them. The Gerrards, the Torres, players like that. This is a hell of a result, I've got to say that, when you look at the home record of Trabzonspor and the difficulty of going to Turkey. And once again we talked about the goalkeeper. He hasn't really had too much to do, but we wondered what he would be like. I think there's your answer. Thank you very much. A lovely empty net.
And so this morning's headline maker will be involved in tomorrow morning's headlines as well, for a very different reason. Dirk Kuyt.
A little bit messy for Liverpool into one that's, barring a disaster, is going to turn out to be a great result.
Teofilo.
Well, we've seen him second half. I've looked quite dangerous in the first half. Got his goal very early on.
It is in the end a job very well done by Liverpool, who advance to the group stage of the Europa League, despite being handed one of the most difficult draws that could have come their way. They'll hope for kinder journeys and fixtures when they get to the group fixtures. Pepe Reina beaten inside 4 minutes by Teofilo, but then Giray's late own goal meant that Trabzonspor had to score at least 2 more. That proved well beyond them, all the more so after Dirk Kuyt had tapped into an untended net 3 minutes from time. Craig Burley, 3-1 the aggregate score, 2-1 to Liverpool tonight. How would you categorise this victory? How much credit do Liverpool deserve?
Well, I think a huge amount with a hugely depleted squad, both with injuries and players that may be leaving and players that are not quite fit. Chips were down very early, losing that goal when they did.